What's good? It's your boy Trader Realist from Real Last Conversations, and this episode number 48, and we got a brand new year, 2023, coming in strong. Got one of my good homeboys here from Missouri, my boy Savage, blessed the pod for the one time. What's good, Sav? You want to drop your social media?
I don't have no socials, man. I don't have no big. So I got Snapchat. I'm not gonna drop it. The reason why I got it, like I said, mentioned earlier, just it's personal. So
A classic, man. Wow. No, that's rare to not have any social media. Do you feel like you have more time on your hands?
nah, cause I feel like you find time for what you want to find time for. Like people don't need time for social media, but they find time for it. So I don't know. I just use that time to do probably other inconvenient things like play video games maybe or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's probably
Yeah.
not really the most constructive. It's not like I'm doing other productive things with that time I would have normally been on social media because I had social media at one point. But
Do you miss it?
yeah, I miss it sometimes because you be out the loop sometimes. Like Snapchat they done real good job like over the years keeping you in the loop.
I do not be on Snapchat no more. It's
Exactly.
good now.
I wouldn't say it's good, but it's done a better job of keeping you in the loop. But at one point, it was like if you didn't have no Instagram or like Facebook or whatever, like you probably was out the loop. You know what I mean?
Because I feel like every social media platform stole the blueprint of Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Facts.
with the whole stories and all
And
of
the
that,
scrolling, yeah.
took the whole swag of it, and now it's like, all right, now Snapchat got to be relevant again. But I don't be a social media as I used to, but it's more so that I just really just post my own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like I think before I used to go on just to see what people were doing, but I'm at the age where it's just like, hey, I post my ideas and this people like respond to it. You know, I go off of that, but I'm trying to like get away from social media. Cause I remember like when I did take a social media break, like I had so much more confidence, if it makes sense. Like I felt more confident about myself because it's almost like you're competing with somebody when you have social media and you don't even know it.
Definitely. And that's where it kind of gets into like it makes it social media and not reality. That's what makes the competing with others makes you kind of like who you're not. You know what I mean? And that's why people be kind of fake on social media. Like that's what a lot of people on social media complain about. And I ain't gonna throw nobody, but we all probably know somebody who's like that on social media, but you see them and they're not like that in real
Exactly.
life. You know what I mean? Whether
That the
that's
energy don't transfer over.
100%. And with that being, that's a direct correlation of like trying to compete with something you're not. Whether that's finance, people trying to spend more money than what they got because they got to keep up with the next on social media or whatever it might be. But I think that's a direct correlation.
Did you ever see Haha Davis interview on $1 Million Worth of Game?
Yes.
Where he was like he had like 4 million followers and still living in his mom's
Mom
basement.
basement. Yep.
And that's crazy. Like you can have that many followers and you don't know what this person really living in real life.
Yeah, there's people in St. Louis who have like maybe not that many, but 300,000, 400,000, and maybe they have more now. But back when I had it, which was, I'm talking like 4 or 5 years ago, they had 200, 300,000 on social media and they was still not making like money.
Money,
Like, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like they might have got to pay that or whatever, but they weren't like kind of like how I said, like he wasn't making like you couldn't live off of it. Like you got a check and it's like cool, but you know what I mean?
So going to that, this is what I don't like about social media lately. I really feel like it's been dividing, especially people of our generation, when it comes to like men and women. Like I've been seeing that real heavy. I don't know whether you've been like up to date with things in the media, like the Tory Lane and the Megan Thee
Yeah.
Stallion case, but it's just like I'm seeing different things on social media, and honestly, when it comes for like black people, I just never seen such a force affect people before. Like I don't think social media affects different demographics like it do with like black culture in a way, if
Well,
that makes sense.
who control it though? What is like? What's the vibe on like what's the wave of social media? Like who control it? So when something happens, who is it gonna affect the most?
But that's true. But I also feel like, say for an example, if there's a case between two white celebrities. I'm not going to see on social media people bash each other for their opinions because of it. If anything, they might keep it to themselves, talk to their spouses and their friends, but they don't project it on social media. I feel like social media is like a platform where we really put our all into it when it comes to like, all right, this is like finite. That's what I don't like. Seeing some of these past cases like the Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion case, it's almost like, oh, if you felt one way, I can't mess with you no more. I don't want to be your friend no more. And I remember there was a time where it was like you could have different opinions and still be friends. And mind you, it's not for all subjects. Not everybody perfect, but what's wrong with somebody saying like, hey, I don't want to judge anything until I see the whole case?
People be wanting, it's the time in the day that we live in, and I like that immediate. And I don't know, maybe it's part of social media, but like they always want it now.
But it is. It's almost like you said earlier with Snapchat, we get our information from social media. So it's like we're getting our information on like third party blog sites rather than reliable sources like CNN,
True.
ABC, different things like that. And that's what I don't like. It's like we take the shade room and like say cheese, different things like that to heart.
Fact.
For real, like they be like, oh, this happened in a court case just because somebody was outside and overheard it.
And it's been multiple times where like that's happened early on, and we've seen that like that whatever vlog that came out on the shade room or whatever it was, it might not have been necessarily true or all the way false, but like we seen how it literally had nothing to do with the ultimate, you know what I mean, decision or whatever it might have been in the situation. So I don't know exactly why people literally go to that conclusion, but I think it's because of just the time of the day, and they want it like right now. They don't want to wait for nothing, like whether it's for anything. I mean, anything. Everybody's so used to having it in the palm of their hands right now in the generation. Even I'm a victim of it too. Like we don't even want to load up. Like when something take too long, we hit reload on the Safari bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I think it's the time of day. Everybody just want everything right now.
Tyler McLemore was telling me y'all was talking about something like this like a few weeks ago when it comes to like how social media is killing individuality.
Yeah.
Can you like break down that? He said an article, but I didn't read it though. I'm sorry about that. I didn't read it yet. But
we not gonna. It's really. I'm not gonna tap too into it, honestly.
Why you don't tap into it? What you mean?
We get into so we get into it deep, man. It's kind of like, again, who really controlling it? You know what I mean? That's kind of what we get into it, and I don't want to get into that on camera. For various reasons, we can talk about it. I don't want to read. Man, look, it's real deep. I'm not like no big like conspiracy thing, but I think like that stuff like is controlled by somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So with that being said, I don't want to get into it, but social media literally kill people. Forget who they are because of social media. Kind of like what we touched based on earlier. If you're trying to be this person or you're trying to be that person, you will literally lose who you really are in that process. Like whether that's, you know, oh, you want more girls, like you want to use, like you want more girls, you want more money, you want more clothes, cars, whatever it might be, you might lose yourself in that process. Like, you know, you might become that. And that's what me and T-Mac was more so touching base on, and how people lose themselves and they don't, it's less individuality in the world because of it. It's a lot of people who are like each other because of social media, because like they trying to be like that person, like Kim Kardashian. Let's just use that one woman for an example. Look how many Kims look like Kim, like, you know what I mean? Just whatever it might be, or the Kylies or whatever, whoever.
And that go with the whole like different lifestyles and opinions, like you said. We were talking earlier. I was telling you how the past few years I've been trying to be more mindful with how I say things, because I don't want to come off as being insensitive or have my thoughts misconstrued by the audience to be like, oh, I'm coming off of being spiteful. But there's also parts of me where it's just like, why can't I just say my true feelings? Why am I scared to be my real self? Like, even if it might come off, you know, a little bit harsh, people should know me and know that I'm not trying to be that way. But it's like part of me is like, I feel like people appreciate the fact that I am like thoughtful when I speak about certain topics, but also sometimes I do want to be a little toxic. You know, there's sometimes I want to say my true feelings, and I'm scared to say my true feelings because how what people may think it, may
Mm-hmm.
think of me or something like that, or maybe like, oh, this person is not a righteous person or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what social media will do. If you have one idea that goes against the grain, it's almost like you're like a villain. Like
Yeah,
you're really a villain. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what like the cancel culture. Then you get canceled, right? That's what they do. Um, and it takes away from your individuality. Like it really do. Like especially the people with the most following, because they can't do it the most.
Yeah.
The people with the most following on those platforms can't be their most genuine self because of the reason you just said. They have more of a like a say consequence when they go against the grain. You know what I mean? It's more at stake for them. So they're those people who have the most following, I feel like probably being, I don't know these people, so I don't know it. But those people probably being the least like themselves. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's definitely a scary time. Like I would hate to be a kid during this time. I feel like when we was growing up, I mean, of course we had MySpace, but it wasn't that deep. Like all we wanted was a song on a profile.
yeah.
All I wanted was numbers to roll down my damn profile
Yeah, the
screen. You know what I'm saying? That's
background.
all I really wanted. And I wanted to be in my crush's top 5. That's it.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's just things are get sent out so fast, it get consumed so fast by so many different masses of people that it just, I feel like it's always the bad things. And it's like I purposely on my Instagram follow positive pages that says nothing but positivity, that had nothing but great positive stories, because I need that. Like I don't want to hear somebody died today. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear that somebody went to court or something tragic happened. I want to hear some good news.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. I'm glad. I think more people do that these days than in the past. Follow like positive affirmations or whatever it might be. But I just think overall social media can be like, you making money, you doing what you gotta do, and I understand. But for me, like I said, just where I'm at, I don't like it because of the XYZs that we just said. Like it's not I'm against it, because like I had them, and like I get all the, man, it's people making millions of dollars off social media like that would have never had it before.
Mhm.
So like it's opening so many doors, it's crazy. So I get it. I get all the pros that come with it. But for me, I just feel like I ain't making no money off of it. What it I'm scrolling down
Why
Instagram.
not?
I'm not an interesting guy, man. I'm not
Yo,
that
he
interested.
be saying that. I think you are interested, man. Like,
I might be a little interested, but I'm not interested enough, and I'm definitely not an entertainer because, like I said, you said you kind of almost
you was an
mastered,
athlete though.
man. Like I was an athlete, not an entertainer. It's a different, like again, that's something that's
Nigga, you would catch the ball and do a flip.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it was cool to do that stuff though, and that was more like an excitement, adrenaline in the rush, like a celebration. You know what I'm saying? But as far as again putting on the show, like if I don't feel like doing the flip, I don't want to do a flip, and well, that's what they just want me to do. Like that's what, like you say, they want to see me catch a ball and do a flip.
If they paying you some M's, you ain't gonna be flipping.
I do all the flips for a couple of M's. I can still tumble, but all jokes aside, I don't think I could be like a real entertainer. And like you touch base said, like you kind of almost mastered like speaking or navigating your words to where like you get your point across, but where like you come off like, you know, a little sensitive. I ain't mastered that. And I'm unfortunately prideful, which we're working on. But when you mix those two together, I get on here and say what I feel, and I'll be canceled tomorrow.
Were you always prideful?
Yeah, I think so, unfortunately.
I feel like I had a side of me that's really prideful, but also I feel like I have like a real side of me that's like, all right, it's never that deep. But I feel like my prideful side is like low key my negative side in a way. I feel
Yeah,
like it always
definitely.
it comes almost from like, oh, I want to prove you wrong type pride.
Definitely. No, facts. No, that's 110% correct. And like I've got way better. I used to be way worse. Like I used to be way worse. But when you just get older, like I say, you get older and mature, and then you have relationships, and you realize that that can harm them, like whatever it might be. So you get way better at it. But to say I'm just prideless, nah, I have a lot of it. Unfortunately, like I say, unfortunately, because I know, like, but when you mix that with not being able to be like insensitive or not say what you feel or be a little toxic as you say, like I probably be people would not like me.
All right, so let's be a little toxic right now.
Oh boy.
So you're mixed, right?
Yep.
So coming from that type of background, do you feel like the reason you had to be prideful more because maybe you didn't fit on either side, maybe because maybe you felt like, oh, I gotta like almost be better than the norm because people expect more from me?
No, I don't think that had to do it because I was like, it's like I came from a prideful household. Like, you
Okay.
know what I mean? Like, it was just that
So your
just
whole family was prideful.
yeah, definitely as a whole, I would say more so for sure. But I probably took it up a little bit more of a notch. But that wasn't I don't know if it had anything to do.
Because
I
sometimes,
definitely had the instances in life where you said like, oh, you don't fit in with the white people, you don't fit in with the black people. But I don't know if pride really had anything to
because
do with that.
what I was really trying to get at with that, I feel like sometimes when you're black, they try to make being pride being like a bad negative thing. Like you can't be prideful. Like I remember I saw like a video of like, I think Venus or Serena Williams. They was kids, and pretty much it was like they were like 7 or like 10,
Huh.
and this interviewer was asking them like, "Hey, like how do you think you are when it comes to tennis? Like, or what do you want to be?" And she was like, "I want to be the best in the world." Or I am the best in the world. She said something along those lines, and he was like, "What makes you think you're the best in the world?" Because I work hard and like I train for it. So he kept asking her over and over again, like her answer was going to change, and eventually, like her dad came in, and he was like, "She gave you the answer. Like take the
Right.
answer." Almost, it's almost like he wanted her to kind of be humble in a way,
Uh-huh. And
because
he wasn't going. She wasn't
she
going.
wasn't going.
And it's like you said, her dad came over. It was a household thing. That's why I say I don't know if it's really like a black people thing because the pride probably came from my black side more so.
I,
For me, like I feel like that's where
I
like
think white
my
people are free to be prideful, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you can be prideful and you're not looked
down
at
upon
like
or yeah,
you're not
you
looked
not
at a different
humbled.
way.
Yeah,
You know what
you
I'm
shouldn't be
saying?
humbled.
Like
Yeah.
it's almost like, when it comes to sports, where it's just like if you're a black quarterback who runs and throw the ball on flashy, oh he's a risk. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh he's too flamboyant. Like he's a problem in the locker room. All he wants is attention. But say if like Tony Romo or some white quarterback do it, oh, this dude is
Facts.
electrifying.
No,
Like it's
facts.
like the terminology changes for when you're like, white or something like that.
That's always been the case. That's still the case to the day. Like Aaron Rodgers with the celebrations, with the uniform, the findings, like he get fined less because like I don't know because he's white or play quarterback. I don't know the
Because he's
reason.
white.
But he get fines less than other players, and that's been documented and proven. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. White people are way more prideful. It's like what the white privilege. It go hand in hand with white privilege. They feel more entitled about it anyway. So yeah. But for me, I'm gonna honestly say like my daddy black. So that's like where probably more of my pride came from. Like my daddy was the one like when I scored a touchdown, like why you just giving high five? Like why you not celebrating? Like you know what I mean? So like that's why I caught a ball and did a front flip or a back flip or whatever.
But that's why we were talking about a little earlier. We were talking about my college, but I feel like when you black, you only celebrate with your black with your homies. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only time when it's like celebrated.
I hate that it's
But
that way, but it's
when
so true.
but when it's universal, it's like it's not always received well. It's just like I remember one time in college, it's like we scored a touchdown, we all getting hype, and a linebacker, I'm not gonna say his name, he was like, act like you've been there before. Like, no. I'm gonna act like I got this and I earned it every single fucking time, and I'm gonna turn it with my guys. I'm not going to be, oh, we scored 7 points, yeah, go
Yeah.
back to the line. No,
Like nah.
like I'm gonna
Look,
celebrate my boy.
and that's funny you said it because in high school that was the mentality. Like we were blue collar. They say blue collar, boy. They had a lot of money. They was blue collar, hard nosed. Which don't get me wrong, we grinded like we were hard working kids or whatever. But that was our mantra, and they kind of had like the same attitude. Like we don't celebrate. And to me,
Just get the ball to the ref
and
type
like
shit.
from like like a little kid, like my daddy was telling me, like we not gonna like, bro. We watched Muhammad Ali growing up. We not gonna knock you out. We're gonna knock you out. We're gonna talk some trash while we knocking you out. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always was in high school. I got like only 3 penalties for celebrating, and I think the only reason why I only got 3 because I didn't do it a lot because of the high school I went to. Like it was like you was frowned upon. Like you say, like you was a
Do you remember the celebrations? What you did?
one was a point. It was so lame. I remember it because it was the lamest celebration on a pick six. And I think one was I don't know what the actual for it could have been post, but they called it pre because they didn't count the touchdown. But I started walking to the end zone and I scored the touchdown. But as I like walked, the dude like hit me. Like, I'm about to cry. He ain't let me walk in his end zone, understandable. And I turned around and hit him. And they said it was because I was walking, I guess. So they took away the touchdown. That's why I remember that one too. And I don't remember the third one. But I only got penalized like 3 times. But for me, that was like good because like if I deflected a pass, like you said, it's not, I deflect 3 passes today. No, I don't know if I'm gonna deflect another one. So I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna deflect this one. So that's kind of the approach I always had. And in high school, it was the opposite. Like it was you're attention grabber, like you're like, flamboyant. I don't even remember all the names they used to say, bro, but
So with everything that happened with college sports and things like that, me now, I kind of wish I went to a HBCU. And it's not because of Deion Sanders or prime time. It's just because I have friends who went to HBCUs and I kind of liked the environment. I feel like I did appreciate going to a PWI because it gave me the opportunity to learn how to communicate and pretty much pretty much communicate and be around people of different races. Like
fact.
Before that, I didn't know how to like verbalize or how to like even conduct myself around white people. I was telling you earlier, like I never really seen a white person in my neighborhood, so I went to college, and it was such a different world to me when I first got there, where I was like, I really have to watch what I say.
You got to Missouri and saw all white people.
Yeah, I saw all white people, saw a lot of different mindsets, and a lot of judgment too. A lot of judgment comes with that type of territory as well. But I appreciate the lessons it did teach me, but sometimes I wish I went to an HBCU so I can kind of really have a black experience at school. I feel like in college I didn't really enjoy it because it was just like nothing we could really do. It was like 3 bars, none but country music, and if you did hear some hip hop, it was damn Nelly. Getting hot in here type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool. And when we did have black parties, it would get shut down all the time. Why? Why? Because it's black.
More than likely. I mean, that's just what it is. Off rip, do you know I went to a HBCU?
No.
Did you know I went to Lincoln before Reggie went there?
I do remember it. Now that you say it, I remember it.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I do remember it, but did you feel bad? No. Do you have any regret leaving Lincoln, or did you feel like SEMO was a better move at the time?
100%. When I made the move, it was no doubt. In hindsight, I still feel like SEMO was the better move just because of the connections. Like I wouldn't be where I am professionally, etc. I don't know if I would be anyway without me attending SEMO and making those connections. However, as far as football, I mean, balling in the MIAA was nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was dope. So I think from that aspect, I look back and I'm like, I could have stayed, but I don't know. Again, we talked about earlier, it wouldn't have been worth it in the long run because what connections would I have gotten from that small HBCU? Unfortunately, like that's just the case in the real world. You don't have as many opportunities when you go to graduate from a university like that, especially that size HBCU. We talking like one of the smaller HBCUs out there. So
with Deion Sanders going to HBCU and now departing one, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like he left the mission undone? Do you feel like he added more value to the whole program and movement? What is your thoughts? Because to me, this sounds like a real racial episode, and to me, it didn't built up. It's been a few months since I podcasted, and to me, it's just like my people are our own biggest critics. You know what I'm
Yeah, that
saying?
is what it
It's
is.
like I didn't seen people say, "I will never mess with this guy again. He cheated these boys. He's manipulating his sons. All this foul stuff to a man who does nothing but kind of bring light and bring positivity to the sports of football, especially to people of our color."
I'm gonna say what my granny used to say, ignorance is dumb. Those people don't know the. We just spoke. Who you think about to play in Colorado?
His boy,
So what kids
his
is being
people.
left high and dry? What did he not complete? He signed a contract for 2 years and he said he gonna win 2 championships. What he do? So like those people, I agree. Like I see where I don't agree. I see where they're coming from because that's that prideful and they just like that's what it is. Like they feel like he should be there forever because he's the best and because of what he's done. I understand it, but in reality, he completed the mission. He bettered the program, and the kids gonna. We were just saying like they gonna the
Go with
one
him.
they gonna hit the portal exactly.
And like we were saying earlier, it's kind of like he lit the fire. So it's up to us to keep fanning it and to keep that fire growing and burning. I never really believed in the whole fact that one man can save us all kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that mentality that, oh, now that Dion's gone, the whole mission is in turmoil. I'm not going to be a co-signer of that. I don't believe that.
I'm not a big believer in it either. Like I said, I see the perception where they coming from, but and maybe coming from somebody who left HBCU for a predominantly white school, but I just think if you have a chance to, that's what we all doing in life, right? We bettering opportunities for ourselves, our loved ones. If that's what he doing, you can't blame no man for that at the end of the day. So at the very, very bottom raw end, that's what he's doing. So you can't blame him for it. And as far as everything else, as far as the culture, the movement, and all that stuff that he had going, he did what he said he was gonna do.
So I saw somebody that I know. I don't even know whether they gonna see this or not. They reposted like a video of his son pretty much saying like how he was sad to leave Jacksonville pretty much. And she was just like, look, even his son is showing that he don't want to leave. And all I can say is that, you know how many like places I felt emotional leaving, but I still wanted to leave. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I felt emotional leaving because I was leaving behind, certain relationships, but that doesn't mean I don't want to go. It's just that, I'm just saying bye to a certain point in my life. And I feel like it's always people who don't play sports who want to put so much into it. It's just like I didn't cry for so many different bullshit in sports because it brought out different emotions out of me.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I can say about. I'm thankful for football because it made me a well-rounded individual, whether I liked it or not.
Fact.
And I appreciated that. And then just like when people say things like they just know what's going on. It's like y'all don't know what's going on. These athlete minds. Like any real athlete want the best opportunity. A better opportunity is Colorado.
And simple as that. That's why I said at the very bottom, at the most basic grand scheme of things, if he better in his opportunity, then it's like you can't hate on no man, especially a black man, if that's what he doing. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm
At
saying?
all.
So that's why I don't blame him, but I understand like the kind of ownership and like it's kind of like even with like just even certain households, like I got my people, I got some of my people who wouldn't dare have a white girl. Like you can have no white, like like, but just because they keeping it not like they don't even
Yeah.
want no mixed kid. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like it's the same thing. They want him. They want Prime. He the best, so they want him. They want him to themselves. That's all.
Yeah.
So I get it, but he did what he said he was gonna do,
Mhm.
and I don't blame him. Like I don't blame him at all.
So keeping it on football. Last night was Monday Night Football, man. Crazy game. It had a real sad note with DeMar Hamlin. He's the Bills safety. He went in for a tackle, and he got up, and then he fell down, and they had to bring out, I think, the defibrillator, and like had to bring him back to life, and it was a real crazy moment because, to be honest, in football, I never really seen the time taken out to actually take care of a player, which I appreciate by the NFL. Like they took the time out. Normally, it's almost like, all right, like take it to the sideline
Facts.
and go on. And they really took time to really like look after this dude. But it's to the point where it's like we were talking earlier, like what's the risk to reward when it comes
To the
to this
game.
game? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you had the whole Tua situation happen a few months ago with the concussion. He's still playing. I don't know why he's playing, but he had a concussion, and literally one of the top brain surgeons was just like, I told him I wouldn't let my son play,
Yeah.
and this man's still playing, and it's almost like we were talking earlier. This football mentality is like you can't be weak. It's almost like you have the whole world in your back.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's a way to make your whole family eat. Like your whole family probably came from poverty, and you're the meal ticket.
Facts.
A lot of people were saying the hit last night wasn't that hard. But my thing is, who know what this dude went through before that, whether it was practice, whether it was for a previous game. A lot of times us players lie to keep on playing to get that paycheck,
Yeah.
to make sure that we have food on the table for our kids, family, mom, because it's all we know. And that's the sad part about it, because it's just like it's hard to tell somebody don't do something when they've been playing it since they was a kid.
Especially like when the something gets greater and the rewards get closer as you get, to that like
Level.
exactly. So that's just all it is. So when you grow up and you in high school and you're like, oh, I got to get that scholarship, bro. You got just imagine being in the league. Like you said, you could only imagine what what could have been really going on when you get to that level, and that paycheck is feeding your family. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I get that perception from it, but man, it's just I've never seen nothing like that really on the football field. But kind of like you said, that football bring that raw emotion out of a grown man, and whatever all the players saw, you saw the raw emotion. Like we talking about some of the roughest, toughest perceived men in the United States anyway. Big 300-pound linemen,
Crying
you
and
know,
stuff, yeah.
balling. So whatever they witnessed, it brought out that raw emotion that the field, like when you out there, it do. Like it would be a brother or whatever. So I don't know. I don't even. I saw it live. I watched it all, but I have no. I'm not no doctor. I have.
I woke up to it. Like I didn't even. I saw the replays, but I woke up and I saw like Facebook, and I went straight to the game, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Dude, I saw it live, and I was actually eating dinner, and I just saw the hit. I just thought I when I saw him get back up and pass out, I didn't think much of it. I was just like, oh, that's crazy. Then it kept progressing, and when everybody was like on the field, took a knee, and like they were doing CPR, I was like, oh, that's when I knew like
It was bad.
it was crazy. Like, and then they threw the tents up and the cameras quit looking. Like the cameras like pretended. I wouldn't say like it wasn't going on, but they pretended like that he wasn't just right there. Like the cameras just literally was looking at players and fans. Like it wasn't going on the field. When that happened, I was like, yeah, that's why I've never seen nothing like that.
So I'm conflicted because I also saw a lot of people in uproar against Skip Bayless,
Yep, I saw that too.
because he made a tweet pretty much saying like he don't understand why they took so much time out, because it's a high profile game and a lot of these injuries happen a lot of times.
I would never say what Skip said. I would never, not on this type of topic, but to keep it parallel or to make the analogy, I guess you could say, that's the type of stuff I would say that like I would speak on, and people be like, "What? Cancel?" Because like I wouldn't say that regarding this, but I get on, if I had a platform, I get on there and say some stuff, and people be like, "No," and I'd be canceling that. It wouldn't dare be like, because I actually disagree. Even though at the end, he said, even though it has nothing to like, he kind of, I don't know what the quote was, but at the end of the tweet, he even said like, even though it pretty much don't matter because this has happened, I still think like, oh, you can't say nothing like that. It's too sensitive a topic, and we live in too sensitive a time for that.
I'm kind of conflicted with it, because part of me is like, it is true. You know how many times we've been at football practice and somebody goes down and they just like move 20 yards up,
Yeah.
keep the game going.
Yeah.
I am conflicted because I saw First Take today. Not First Take. What's it called? It's Skipping Shannon. What's the thing called again? Undisputed.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I was watching their show, and this man Skip is crying, saying, "I just never seen like it was like the total opposite of what he said." I understand. You shouldn't really double down on that, but I would have respected it more if he would have just been like, like this does happen. I do apologize for what I said, but like, look at the stats in a way.
And it's just really for the people. But how many followers does Skip got?
Probably like a million. Probably like a million too.
And that's when I say like the bigger the following, the more they probably not really themselves. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying like that just to go back on it. Like he got all them people. He can't be himself because of that backlash that he gets from it. So that's why I say the people who got the most following really don't even be expressing their real feelings via social media, via platforms anyway. You catch them with a can, like, you catch them at a bar catching a drink, you might see the real Skip. He might tell you, I lost millions of dollars on that game because they wanted to cancel it or whatever it might have been. He ain't gonna say that on camera. I don't know if he did gamble on it. I'm just saying, whatever the topic or whatever the reasoning why he thought the game should go on because it was so important to the league or whatever it might have been. I can believe he would talk about that at the bar. Like, you catch him at a bar, he'll chop it up with you.
Yeah. We talking about, I want to know the real you. Like, whether you a bad person, a good person, I want to know who you are rather than you give me a fake version and you talk a different way behind my back.
Dang, and I want to ask you some questions since you just said
What's
that.
up?
So, and it's kind of about to curve a little bit, the topic, but when you talk about that and you kind of want to know the real people, how do you meet individuals these days, like especially of the opposite sex? Because if you on social media, if you be so worried that it's not the real them, how do you even really meet them?
By being real yourself. I'll give you an example. I'm not even going to say her name. I was telling you earlier, a girl reached out to me on Facebook. She pretty much was like, "Hey, I find you attractive." Actually, she didn't even say that. It was so funny. Yo, girls are so funny. Like, she was like, "Are you married?"
You gotta.
She said, "That was a question." She said, "Are you married?" I said, "No." Why? And she was just like, "Just wanted to know." And I was just like, "So you just wanted to know?" And she was like, "No, I actually like you, and I kind of wanted to shoot my shot." And I was just like, "So shooting your shot is asking me, am I married?" And I was just like, "Well,
is that not though?"
What?
I think that's it. That's shooting your shot. I think if a woman or a man walk up to the opposite sex and say, "Are you married?" that's a shot.
You think so?
I maybe know. I'm too old school.
Maybe I'm just too reserved back. I don't know. But to me, it would have been like, "Hey, like, I'm interested in you." That's how I don't. So we're getting back into what you were saying. So you're talking about how to be honest, open, and know whether somebody real or not. So I could have been like any dude because she's a beautiful lady. You know what I'm saying? I could have been like any dude. It could have like fed some lies. But what I do instead, I was just like, "Hey, right now you stay in Jersey, I stay in Texas." I said that's already one thing that I'm not willing to like negotiate on right now because right now I'm focused on myself. I said right now I'm in a phase where I'm unsure of myself. Like, I just lost a job and got another job. I'm not even at, I don't even know whether I'm going to be happy at this new job. I don't know whether I can really take care of a full family. I feel like when a man's unsure, he shouldn't be dating. And I said, now, I shouldn't be dating you because I don't know where I'm at. I'm confused in my life right now. I said, of course, I find you beautiful and I would love to court you. But I said, right now, it's just not the time. I said, and especially if you're not here. I said, I need somebody next to me if I am going to start dating. Like, I need to have you here and work through things together in person.
I don't like the long distance either. I agree with that.
And she was just like, "Wow, that's crazy." And I was just like, "Did I say something wrong?" And she sent me a voice message. She was just like, "Yo, like, I never had a man be so honest before. Like, I'm unsure of myself too. Like, I don't think I'm really like." She started really telling her real side. To know it more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it made me appreciate it more because we had a real connection. And it took for me just to be like, "Yo, like, this is me right now." I could have easily have been.
So that's what it takes. So that's what you got to do. You essentially gotta be the one who you got to be the one. I don't want to even call it vulnerability because it's not vulnerability because you really just being yourself. But you the
Yeah,
one who got to go out of there to get that. All right, I'm just curious because
I really feel like people are scared. You said the whole vulnerable thing. I feel like people are really just scared to say the truth. And when I say truth, I mean about anything. And that's my issue. Like that's my issue to a fault where it's just like I'm not going to tell you everything outright. But if you ask me something, I'm not going to hide it from you. Like I'm gonna be real. Like if we're in an intimate setting and you ask me like certain question and I value this friendship relationship, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna let you know my real thoughts. And I feel like people really, even though you might get canceled for some thoughts, I feel like in real life when you really meet people and can really explain it past like 350 characters,
yeah,
people really do like be like, all right, I get what you're saying.
they can get your
I
intent.
get your vibe.
They get your intent. Exactly.
Yeah, you know
they
what
get
I'm
your
saying?
intentions.
Cause that's another thing about social media. With these words, it's like it can come off real cold sometimes, but you don't even mean it like that. When your whole tone of voice and everything can make it sound totally different.
Yeah, and it goes along with it's not really what you say all the time. It's kind of how you say it. You know what I mean? And how you say it on social media or on any platform for that matter, whether it's text message or whatever it might be, they don't know how you say it. It's how they perceived it. See what I'm saying? So how they perceived it is how they perceived it. It might not even be how you said it. Like, I don't know, exclamation. You might accidentally put an exclamation point at the end of a text, and they're like, "Whoa, I'm so happy to come see me." You might be like, on the way, exclamation point. So they're like, "Oh, he's super excited." Like, when in reality, you just like on the way. Like,
you know how many times you put LOL and you're not laughing, or you put like a crying
Exactly.
emoji and your face straight as fuck. You like people just will like you said instant gratification at the end of the day. But to go back to the previous topic with the whole injury, well, all these injuries happening with sports, would you still let your kids play?
I'm my kids. Whenever I have them, I'm gonna support them whatever they do, any sport. Will I leave my kid to play football? No, I'll guide them for sure. Other ways, other avenues, soccer, whatever fall sport. Like I say, probably soccer. That goes on. But I always had that perception, especially before the hit yesterday. But I've always had that perception. I played in my whole life. Like I played football from 5 to 22, 21, whatever I was doing. And when I think about it, I was at a disadvantage pretty much. As soon as puberty kicked in, I was at a disadvantage. Like, was I faster than probably everybody, quicker than everybody? More than likely, but it was like the raw strength. Like, if I'm a kid, if I'm a boy, I'm 16 years old, I weigh 155 pounds and I'm 5'8", I can only lift so much weight, like, period. Like, you know what I mean? And when you got a kid who's your exact same size, who's 6'3", he gonna live way more weight. So, like, I always kind of knew I was at a disadvantage. So I'm gonna steer my kid in a different direction because of that. Not so more so because of the violent stuff of it. That stuff's scary, but that stuff freak. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that can happen to anyone as if that happens every day. But, like, you know, some of that freak of nature, especially if he doesn't have any underlying issues, is just so. It's kind of like the heat stroke. Like, unfortunately, there's kids who die all the time because they're out there running around in the heat. Like, you know what I mean? During football, 2-a-days or whatever it might be. But I wouldn't steer him. I'm personally steering him a different direction. If he wants to play football, I'm gonna let him.
I'll be that's how my dad raised me. He let me do every sport. And it's crazy. I always kind of felt like he wanted me to do baseball and basketball. That's what I pursued, but I sucked at those sports. I hated it, but I kind of wanted his approval in a way because he was good at those sports. But it was just like I say it every time. My boy Brandon, he signed me up for Pop Warner, 7th grade. Changed my life.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was that little fat boy that used to just want to do the opposite. Like, oh, you should play football. No, I don't want to do football. I was that kind of kid. It was just like, not listening. But my friends want me to do it, I'll go do it. Then it's almost just like, oh, your parents tell you do it as a kid. I don't want to do it. Your friends, all right, I do it.
Then
This
you
is who you're
realize you
around.
can go beat up on people.
Exactly. I wanted to go do it. I was great. I was great at the sport. You know what I'm saying? I found love with it. I ain't fall out of love with it until college. And like we were saying
College to
earlier,
do it, man. When you
it
become a
make or break you.
business, when it
It make
become
or
a
break you.
business, like, and that goes for a lot of professions, but when it become a business, like, you see if you really love it or if you don't love it. That's true.
Exactly. And we were talking about the risk to the reward. I say the reward is like I met people like you. I met like a lot of amazing people in football. I made a lot of great bonds. I got memories that I will have for years. Like
Yeah,
my house, my family house burned down 10 years ago. All my medals, all my newspaper clippings are gone, but my memories are still here.
yeah.
And I will never lose it. I will never lose that.
And that's what make it worth it. And at the end of the day, like, in all seriousness, and that's why you see that raw emotion on the field that you see, like, between, those individuals on the field, because at the end of the day, even in the pros, like, when the money gone or when you're done playing, at the end of the day, what you do, you got those individuals. And I would say the same thing. Most of my relationships I've built, again, I played football since I was 5. So, like, my first friend, like, I'm talking about, like, sleepover friend was from football. Like, I'm sleeping over at his granny house to come sleep over my granny house. Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of to me, that's the part where it's like you can't really put like it's unmeasurable almost. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the risk ain't worth the reward at the end of the day. But when you gain those relationships and you do all that stuff and you get the experiences and the memories, it's kind of like, it wasn't that bad. But everybody got different degrees, because I know if I, like T-Mac, thank God he good and he healthy, but like if I was like him and heaven forbid he wasn't able to like function properly because of his surgery, like, it wouldn't be worth it for me personally. Like, I would be mad if I found out in 10 years like I gotta have a surgery because I play football. Like, I get it. I wouldn't be mad as in like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'd be mad as in like, dang, that probably made it with like a little not worth it. Like, you know what I mean?
I definitely don't feel like college is worth it. And that's just because, like you said, I have injuries to today. I'm not even gonna get to all of it, but I have injuries today that is just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, the goal was to go to the NFL, and when you lose your love halfway through, and that mission ain't complete, it's almost just like, what was it for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, like I said, the relationships you build is just like that's something you got to cherish. And we got friends in the league, like Mike Ford.
Yeah.
He out there doing his thing.
Ford is still doing this thing. That's incredible. Yeah.
How's his head right now?
Great. I just texted him last night because of what happened. So I just talked to him coincidentally. But yeah, he good. He's good. Yeah, I don't want to actually give you I'll give you the great news off camera or something. But,
Okay.
But he doing good. All I know, nothing crazy. Like, when I say great news, professional great news. Like, he doing good. Like, you know what I mean. He got a contract and everything. So good.
I'm about to say he living that life. Like, he's one of the few who is still doing it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, he actually still in there doing it. That's incredible. So, and like I said, it's just
but his body good though.
Oh yeah, from what I know he had an ankle injury not too long ago, but he been playing. He healthy from, I don't know, 100%.
That boy a beast.
Yeah, that stuff wild, man. That stuff wild, and like I said, just coincidentally talked to him just because of last night. Just just told him like, man, told you how much you cherish somebody, because man, that could be him. You somebody like, he only a 2-year safety. Yeah, like you say, he trying to provide. So. And the same thing Mike doing. So that stuff crazy.
That video of him buying his mom a crib was crazy. I was like, that's like every boy's dream, honestly.
Man, it's unbelievable what he would like. And then seeing like specific, like, you don't know, but all so small and it's like rugged. You know what I mean? It's nothing nice. So definitely moving his mom out to that from there. It's a dream buying your mama house, let alone doing that. Like, that's real life goals, like, for real, like that. That's incredible.
So you out in Dallas, man. So you'll move out here next?
I don't know. Everybody out here, I tell you that. I've been thinking about it, but
You the
I
last
don't.
of a dying breed, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm from the Lou. I like home. Look, it ain't the look.
The Lou dangerous though. I mean Dallas dangerous too, but
I
I
will
don't know. I feel like the Lou more dangerous.
look if you look. The Lou is special, man. If you can make it out the Lou,
Anywhere.
man, you if you out there and if you in St. Louis and you them ways and you been them ways, I say you can almost. I don't speak for every city because I know every city dangerous. Don't give me like every city got. But if you didn't been through the ways in St. Louis, I feel like you can. You built for it. Like you know what I mean. You got a little tough. Like you can handle tough skin. Like people out here compared to even was like the white people. Like they just nicer. Like it's crazy to even say it, but because you further south. Like you know what I'm saying. But they nice. Like even the white people in St. Louis, like they rugged, but it's dangerous for
racist.
sure.
I mean, I think. Well, let me be quiet.
It's some definitely. It's a lot of them actually, man. It's Missouri, bro. But like I said, it's dangerous. But I don't know if I'm gonna come to Dallas, man. I like it. It's dangerous. You got your outskirts too, though. In St. Louis, like St. Louis is bad in St. Louis. You can get out of St. Louis and be comfortable.
There's two sides of St. Louis though. There's some nice parts of St. Louis.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like you can get into like the west side of St. Louis and be in some nice areas. Even like bro,
my boy Fowler got married in St. Louis, and I was like, this is a nice ass city when I was with him and his crew.
You can't.
But when I'm with like my boys Eric and them, I'm like, yo, why are the windows cardboarded up and shit like that? Like, damn.
Yeah, he took you them ways. That's how it is, though. That's why I say you go there, you live there, and you experience just the day-to-day interaction just out there. I don't want to say be good everywhere because you never know, but you be most places you'll be good off. I feel like St. Louis will mold you. It'll mold the individual. Like you ain't got no St. Louis in you, boy. But I swear you go live in St. How long you been in Dallas?
5 years.
You go move in St. Louis for 5 years, you'll be talking like her. There. It molds you. I'm telling you, it just makes you.
I started sounding more country when I went to Missouri, my friends say.
Cause you was in the boot hill. That's country.
Yeah, I'll go back home. My friends will be like, "You sound country as hell."
Yeah,
like I don't even have my New Jersey accent anymore. That shit been going.
Yeah, you go to St. Louis, it'll mold you for the like. I ain't saying it's a bad way, but like it'll just change you. Like you gonna adapt to St. Louis because of like the gritty or nitty, whatever you want to call it. Like you know what I mean. Like people say, I came out like, why you staring? I'm like, like I guess people in St. Louis literally stare at people a little too long because I didn't even realize it. Until I realized, like, somebody's like, why you staring so hard? I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm just observing. Like, you know what I mean? But in St. Louis, if you ain't, if you're not observing,
you might be lacking.
You hear me? So that's just all it come down to. I like it though. I don't know if I'm gonna get out of it. Not unfortunate, because I like it, but I'm not in the city though. I ain't been in the city in a long time. So,
all right. So we coming to the end. I got two hot boy questions.
All right, hot boy questions.
The first question is, would you rather get beat up in front of your girl or wife or in front of your kids?
How old is the kids? How old is the kids?
Them kids is like 7 and 8. They kids. They kids.
Ah, man, I don't know. That's a tough one. I guess if I had to pick, I would probably say that's a tough one because, like, bro, you don't want to get beat up in front of your kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you their hero. Like, if you get your ass in front of your son and your daughter, it's like over. They're going to be like, we can never go this nigga again.
I feel like my wife might be able to understand the situation a little bit more.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like my wife will comfort me. She going to be like, you know what?
She definitely will. She definitely will. Not that it make it any better, but I feel like I'm going to choose my wife just because of not even the comfort. She will do that. Yeah. But I feel like my wife would understand why I got lost or whatever. Whereas your kids, they just watch daddy get his ass whooped. Like
and kids are sponges like at that age. Like at that age, they ain't never gonna let it go. They're gonna be like, yo, my daddy a hoe.
Facts. No, facts. And you gonna hear about it. Like they gonna be telling you like, he might be 12, 13. You feel it? Like, he might be thinking he big enough.
That was it.
I do you like that dude did you when I was 8, pops.
It gotta be my wife though. I remember I saw something today where a girl was like, "Yeah, my boyfriend get beat up in front of me. I'm leaving his ass." She's like, "I'm gonna help him, but after that we gotta like go our separate ways." I'm like, "Damn, like the loyalty is gone."
Yeah, I don't know about all that. That's crazy. That's a wicked. But maybe that's why people these days don't want to lose fights. And that pride comes in line. That's why the guns get drawn. They not even gonna lose a fight in front of their girl. They don't want to lose their girl, maybe.
That pride, you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call this episode prideful, man. I'm gonna call it. I'm about to say, all right, so the second hot boy question. So you dated white girls and black girls?
Yeah. Well, I ain't never really date no white girl. I had a girl. No, I'll be like, oh, for real. I ain't never had no white girlfriend, but like I had like a white girlfriend, but it's like high school. You're not doing that.
Have you slept with a white girl?
Oh yeah, but they weren't no girlfriends. Now.
All right, yeah, okay. You've been with both black and white. All right, so
I've been with all.
So my man's taking this is his past. This is not now. This is all in the past.
Actual.
Back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
So excluding the girl you're currently with,
uh-huh.
If you had to say who had the best box, was it white girls or black girls?
Like, are we talking like individuals? Or are we talking like just as an overall generality of race?
I'm gonna say individual. So who would you say was your top one?
My best ever was for sure a black girl.
For real?
For sure. Like no cap. For sure. The best head I got was definitely from a black girl.
What age was you?
I was grown, like
you was grown, okay,
yeah,
okay,
over 23, 42, 21. I was for
sure. Is that grown? It's 22.
I wasn't grown. I wasn't grown.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Yeah. And I look back, I wasn't. But I had plenty sexual encounters to know what was good and bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm other, like I said, not including my current situation. Other than my girl right now, I still had post head and she still rank up there. Like, you know what I mean? It's still good.
Damn, I thought the white girls were eaters.
I mean, again, that's why I was saying that we talking like general populations or not. Because general, I mean, I'm still saying black girls, bro. No cap. I'm still gonna say black girls because
black girls.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be real because even though like white girls are known for it and they gonna do it, I'm not saying they not or not. It's just the skill don't necessarily gonna be there. Like same with black girls, like the skill don't necessarily gonna be there just because they do it. Like you know what I mean? But overall, black girls and my best definitely was a black girl. Yeah.
Okay.
Some hot topic. What about you? Have you ever been with a white woman?
Sex, no. Head, yes.
And her head was crazy?
I told you my best head was from a 45-year-old white woman named Barbara.
Yeah, she went nuts.
Crazy.
But again, that might not have nothing
that was experience. That might have been 20 years of dick sucking experience.
That's all I was about to say. They ain't got nothing to do with her being white or black.
I never had a 45. Well, I think the oldest black girl I ever did, it was like probably like 33. So maybe if I did mess with older black, I ain't gonna lie. I know there's some old black women that can eat some dick.
I'm trying to tell you now. Look, I'm trying to tell you. You hear me? They I don't want to call them all out, but I promise you, they all equally good. Like the race don't make you good. It's the skill, like the experience or the skill, whatever it is. You can teach somebody to give you good head, and what's good, the next ain't good to the other. So. That could also be a factor.
Would you feel away if your girl was just like, all right, that one performance was hitting? Would you feel away, or would you be like, all right, let me see how I can improve next time?
Like if she told me that?
Like just say not overall, but say one night she was just like, that shit was kind of weak.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta ask her what was weak about it. You gotta figure it out. If it depends. If it's your girl, yeah, definitely. Like if she just like
why don't you be a man and choke me more? Why you be so fucking soft all the time?
Exactly. Yeah, then just choke her.
What you want to say? What you say? That choke her?
I choke her. I ain't know like the actual physical contact. I don't like hitting or nothing crazy like that. But like I choke, yeah, for sure. Like I ain't talking like don't choke the bitch.
You never smacked them one time. You never smacked them one time
on the booty.
There's a booty never on the face.
I can't go none of that.
She never said smack me real quick.
I ain't never. I think I ain't never heard that. Nobody's ever told me to hit
You
him
never
in the
heard
face.
that?
Nah, not in the face. Nah.
I mean,
It's definitely not.
there's some
Nah.
girls out there that like it.
I didn't trust me. I
Not
didn't heard some
hard. I ain't
stuff.
saying like smack the shit out of the girl. I'm talking about,
Yeah.
a little.
Same with the choke. Like, you don't choke the shit out of her, but you know, you give her a little choke. If she told me
I remember one time a girl was like, nigga. She was like, go there. I was like, my bad, damn.
Nah, yeah, you don't want to choke
Sometimes, I mean,
Get into
sometimes
it.
you get into
Oh, God.
it. Yeah. All right, we
That's
go.
true as hell.
So 2023. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
I mean, do I believe in people setting goals? Yeah. If that's what a New Year. Yeah. I don't. The New Year's, bro. That's just a reason for people to set a goal. But I do believe in it. Yeah, I think people should do it too.
Yeah, I made some resolutions, but I made a video. And I'm not going to post it to the end of the year. I want to see whether I hold up to that shit or not. So
Yeah, I think that's good. Like I said, I think people should do it.
Yeah.
It's bettering yourself. That's what, like, if you having goals to better yourself, you should do that. And in my opinion, you don't wait till the New Year. You hear me? That's what I say. That's why I say New Year's resolution. Yeah, but
I be feeling like my birthday, like really my New Year. I feel like I put more stock into resetting on my birthday. Especially because I'm about to be 30 soon, so that's like a whole milestone right there.
Yeah.
But I feel like each birthday, I'm like, all right, this is like my reset time.
I never thought of it that way. I don't even think of it as, like I just said, like a new year, I don't think that it be even as a restart. I just think you should set goals and keep working towards them. Like, even if you don't achieve them, keep working towards them. Like, you might have a weight loss goal, for instance, and we need, just keep it basic. Like, weight loss, you might lose, keep it going. Like 2 weeks in, you might have one goal and get discouraged. Like, I want you to keep going. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I think is the positive from that. Like, that's what I think. But you should do that all year round, not just on New Year's. That's what I think.
Okay. Any last words, bro?
No, I appreciate you for having me. It was good. I just thank you. It was a good time. That's all.
No, I'm happy to have you on. Hopefully, I can have you on again with Amon whenever Amon get free. Trying to get the whole gang in here.
We're going to get something going. We're going to get it going.
Yeah. How many days y'all here for?
I'm here till the weekend. So, Friday.
Oh, you out here?
Yeah. 4 days.
PTO?
Yes, sir.
PTO me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. This is my boy Savage. Again, always keep it real, man. Keep it real with your people, your loved ones, but most importantly, keep it real with yourself. It's your boy Trey the Realist. I'm out. Peace.